I'm Dr. David Boughey and I'm Director of Education here at the University of Exeter Business School, and I'm also Chair of the Integrate Project Steering Group. The Integrate project came about as a result of massive increases in student numbers and parallel internationalisation amongst the student body here in the business school. And we were concerned with an ever-increasing diverse student body in terms of their prior education, their learning needs, and the scale of teaching that was taking place in our large classrooms, that we needed alternative approaches to the learning and teaching experience that our staff and students were having. Technology provided some of those answers, and through the grants provided by JISC, the Integrate project, run within the business school, was able to invest, trial and experiment with new technologies to see if different solutions that could be advantageous in our changing student environment would actually be helpful. We trialled a number of different technologies and were fairly open-minded from the start. These included the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style audience response systems, or clickers as we now know them, the technology that enabled staff to integrate questions into PowerPoint slides and enable students sitting there in lectures to answer them. That was one of our technologies that proved to be particularly popular with staff and students alike, and very easy and quick to learn how to use within your normal teaching. But we tried all kinds of other things, from the use of flip video cameras to SMS text messaging live in class, to the use of podcasts and wikis and blogs, and all kinds of other alternative methods of learning or assessment. This included, I think for the first time, big-scale use of optical mark reading, multiple choice questions, that is, marked by computer, or even, for that matter, short answer examinations that could be assessed on computer, where students sat in front of a screen and typed away, and then in part were marked by computer systems with a little bit of human intervention. We took the view that we needed to trial a variety of these technologies over a 2-year period. Some we knew or were confident would work, others we were unsure about. And of course technologies changed at such speed that systems and approaches that were available at the start of the project were not the boundary of the project. New things came along all of the time. So we had to be prepared to let those staff who were particularly interested in the use of technology to take it, to run with it, to go discover for themselves. And it's the way in which certain staff took advantage of those technologies and then became champions of them that then enthused other staff and students alike, and ensured that other staff would then come along and say, I want to use that technology as well. It would ensure students would then demand the usage of certain technologies, or be prepared to ask us, why don't you use that? Why aren't you using video cameras in class to facilitate student presentations? Why not use wikis? Why not use blogs as a means of group coordination and group assessment? These are all great ideas, and the project gave us the confidence to take advantage of those ideas and to invest in the appropriate technologies. Two years down the line of the project, there have been some fantastic successes. The use of audience response system clickers has proven to be both reliable, sensible and have educational value, and it's enjoyed and understood by students right the way across the business school. In fact, simply, we just provide students with the clickers now, but recognise at the same time that that technology itself is fairly static. Things will move on. While we provide clickers today, in 2 years' time it'll probably all be done with apps down on student phones or on iPads or equivalent tablet forms of computing. So actually that's something else that the project's enabled us to do, to reflect upon technological change in the classroom and recognise that things aren't static and that we have to be adaptive, draw upon new technology and be prepared to invest constantly in mechanisms that will aid and assist student learning for the better. The reality is that students that come into the business school today are completely conversant with technologies that actually we find quite new and forbidding at the first instance, whether it's social networking, tablet computing, or other mechanisms of sharing knowledge and information remotely with their peers. We need to be able to understand the way in which students today learn. And the point is they do learn in different ways, and we need to reflect that in the way in which we teach and provide information to students. And this is where things like the virtual learning environment, or our now rebranded ELLI, the Exeter Learning Environment that uses Moodle, is particularly important. Once upon a time, virtual learning environments were very much static, electronic filing cabinets and little else. Today they've got to be adaptive systems where there really is a two-way learning process between students and staff, where students are actually asked to engage with material online, to participate individually or work with groups in online mediated discussion forums. This, of course, is all completely second nature to students. Many of them today have absolutely no idea what a dusty journal article or journal volume looks like in the library. For them, it's just a PDF document that gets downloaded. We actually need to understand that and to be able to convey that to students using the medium of technology and to work with it rather than just to look backwards and say they don't understand it like they used to. The reality is, because of the use of technology, students are far better at finding things, searching through material, and understanding the inherent value of something for their learning. The Integrate project has been particularly valuable at enabling the business school to trial new ideas and new technologies. But from here on, if we're going to sustain the project, it's not about integrating, but it's about completely embedding the technologies in our normal educational practice. Indeed, the real mark of success for the project will be if technology is normalised. It's just part of our normal teaching and learning experience, whether you're a member of staff, whether you're teaching, whether you're a professional service member of staff, or of course, if you're a student. The normalisation of technology in our learning and teaching may appear at one level straightforward, but it does present us some distinct challenges. Firstly, it's about ensuring that technology is not just a matter for the champions, whether students or staff, in certain pockets within the business school. The challenge is to ensure that this is normal across all of our teaching, at all levels, whether undergraduate or postgraduate. And that requires us to continually train and invest in technology and staff and their understanding of the capabilities of the tools that we've got. Secondly, the normalisation is going to require a belief in the technology and a recognition that we need to carry on investing. That we actually do need to not say to these original technological champions, you've done your job now, but to say, please carry on. Please carry on leading us and showing us the sorts of things that can be done with new technologies that exist, and then the business school has the confidence in investing in your understanding and the technology that will make that difference next year and the year after in the classroom experience.